Comfortable sharing it. I am recording this. Hello, thank you for being brave and sharing your beautiful faces. Um, we are recording this though for folks who aren't able. Hello, there you are. Hi, everyone, for anyone who isn't able to join. So again, I'm Dr. Jocelyn Buckner. I'm the program director for the BA in theater here at Chapman University. And I have two amazing current students with me. One is Jane Broderson. Jane can wave. Hello, hi. And the other is Carly Longquist. Carly can wave. Hi, so people can find you on their screens. There we go. Okay, so we are here to share with you information about the BA. I am going to give a really brief overview of the degree, and then I'm going to give you all the opportunity to ask questions because I know that's what you're really here for. You want to hear what's the scoop, what's the experience like in the degree, and I want to give our current students the opportunity to share what their trajectory in the degree has been because they've both been extremely productive and I think have a lot to share, and which is why I invited them. So, the BA, I have a little tiny visual that I think I'll share actually, just in the spirit of being able to be as accessible as possible. Let me share it real quick. Okay, if it will let me do it since we're in a breakout room. Maybe it won't let me share. Might not let me share. Oh, there it is. Great. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I want to do slideshow. Okay, great. So again, we're talking about the BA in Theater Studies at Chapman University. And just to quickly go over the degree with everybody so everyone gets a sense of what it is. Oh, if it will let me click through, there we go. So about the degree, the BA degree is a 4-year degree program. It's comprised of a core curriculum that provides training in all aspects of theater arts. So you're getting a very strong, broad-based foundation in all areas of theater study. Okay, Naomi, I just saw your message. If you want to be in a different breakout room, just go back to the main room and they will reroute you, okay? To the other degree program. Breakout session. Okay. So, yes, the BA again is a 4-year degree program. We have a core that comprises all aspects of theater training. So you have required coursework in performance, in technical areas, in more academic areas like theater history, dramaturgy, and then we have capstone coursework that comes later in the curriculum. The BA also offers an incredibly personalized education track. Students are able to select areas of emphasis within their elective course selections. So we have, again, a very broad area of elective course selections that folks can choose from. It's also designed as a very interdisciplinary academic and creative experience. Students can double major in the BA degree. That's something that came up in the chat in the main section. Someone asked, can students double major? The BA is designed for students who want to double major. And what I mean by that is the credit load for the BA is 47 credits of required coursework, which enables you to double major within a 4-year time frame and graduate on time. The BFA degrees, sometimes there's a question about kind of what's the difference between the BA and the BFA degrees. The BFA degrees have a required additional coursework in the areas of performance training, and so the course credit load is much higher in those degrees. They have 78 required course credits for graduation in those degrees. And so because of that, it's very difficult to double major in a BFA program within a 4-year time frame. But the BA is designed for it, and the majority of our students do it because it is so feasible, and it makes you a very marketable, very dynamic artist, and someone who has a lot of career options upon graduation. And then students gain a lot of hands-on experience in this degree through working on production, which both of our students can speak to, internship opportunities, study abroad programs, which we can talk more about, and also the senior thesis capstone, which Jane is going through right now as we speak. And I'm so glad that she was able to take some time and visit with us today. So I'll let her speak to that experience. But students have a very personalized capstone experience in the degree as well. Our students in the BA degree work, and I think that's really important to know coming into the degree. Our students have tremendous experience while they're in the program here at Chapman. We are very adept and enthusiastic about encouraging students to pursue internship opportunities and work opportunities while they're in the degree. This is a list of places where students work and or have internshiped. Students also go on to graduate school. I've got some graduate programs listed here. You all are in the middle of applying for undergraduate programs, and graduates are in the middle of applying for graduate programs. And so I'm in the midst of writing some recommendation letters for students as we speak, to going on to even more programs. So our students are everywhere in the world. We have students who are working globally. We have students who are working across the country in some really significant theater programs and theater organizations. Again, our students are doing incredible scholarly creative work. This is an example of a student presenting a senior thesis at our University-wide Student Scholar Symposium just last year. Our students do that every year, so we have the opportunity to share out the kinds of creative scholarly work that are going on in the program. So here is my contact information. I know sometimes when you go to these info sessions, there's a lot of information coming at you. It's coming at you quickly, and you're probably hearing from a lot of different universities right now. So if you have questions that occur to you after this evening's event, then feel free to email me. I'm very happy to respond and engage with you as you go through the application process. So I'm going to stop my share there now, and I want to turn it over to all of you and ask what questions folks have, and if folks are just wanting to hear more about the program and student experiences, then we can pivot, and I can prompt Jane and Carly to share some of their experiences. But I want to make sure we get to all of your questions first, so I'll start there. Any questions?
Kind of, but
Yeah.
like I was gonna ask about like because I'm still deciding between a BA and a BFA. I really like the double major aspect to the
Mm-hmm.
BA. But I really also like all the opportunities that the BFA provides, like more rigorous learning. What I'm trying to say is like other than like being able to double major, does the BA have any benefits that the BFA doesn't?
That's a great question.
Mhm.
And I'll answer it from my perspective, and then I'd love
Mhm.
for Carly and Jane to chime in with what they think the benefits of the BA have been for them. Okay. So for me, I think the benefit of the BA is that you have a lot more flexibility in terms of your curriculum. So the BFAs are regimented into a very, very tight track of coursework where everything is required of them, right? There's very little wiggle room. There's very little personal selection in the coursework that they take. And that is by design so that they are totally focused on one particular area of training, right? Which for
Mhm.
those degrees is either theater performance or screen acting. In the BA program, you have again, a very strong core, and we're actually making some adjustments to the core, so it's going to be even stronger and even more
Mhm.
dynamic for folks coming in next year. So you have an incredibly strong core that gives you this very broad foundation
Okay.
of knowledge across the area of study of theater studies, right?
Would that
But then
include?
you have, excuse me, let me finish, and then
Oh,
you can.
sorry.
I'm happy to hear a
Sorry.
follow-up question. And then you have the opportunity to then, add to that with extensive elective um, offerings that again range in areas from directing and performance to dramaturgy, playwriting,
Oh,
technical theater, theater education, those kinds of things. So you can
okay.
see our course offerings online if you go to Chapman and to the Chapman website and you search for the catalog. You can see, and it's also listed on the departmental website, but you can see all of the course offerings for all the degree programs, which might be really helpful if you want to compare them side by side.
Okay. And how many credits would you need to graduate with a BA?
Yeah, so the credit load for the BA degree is 47 credits. Okay, the credit load for the BFA is 78.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that is why the BA, when someone wants to double major, the BA is really the route to take because it's the degree that's going to enable you to take two full credit loads, right, in two different,
Mhm.
degree areas, across the university and do so within a 4-year time frame. We don't have at Chapman, you might hear at other universities, particularly large universities, that sometimes someone takes a 5th year to finish the degree, right? Something like that. At Chapman, we are very, very mindful of your time and we're very mindful of the investment that you're making in your degree. And so we are adamant that you will graduate in 4 years if you follow the degree path, right? Which is laid out for you, and which you are advised upon from the very, very beginning of your experience at Chapman.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Sorry if
you're
that wasn't
welcome.
the most productive question.
No, that was a really
Yeah.
productive question, and I think probably something that a lot of people are wondering about, like what are the distinctions between the degrees? How do you double major, right? What are the benefits of a
Hmm.
BA? Holly, I see your question in the chat. I want to make sure that Jane and Carly get to talk about their experience in the BA in response to this initial question. So I'm going to let them answer that first, and then we'll go to Holly's question. Holly's question is there collaboration with the film school for BA students? Which, yes, there is. I'll answer that long form momentarily, and then we'll also go to Morgan's question. Okay, so Jane and Carly, take it away. What's been your experience? What have you found beneficial about being a BA theater major? And tell everybody what your degree is, what your kind of emphasis is, what year you are, what your other degrees are that you're working on, so that they get a sense of who you are. Yeah.
Cool. Carly, do you want to go first or do you want me to start?
You go first, Jane.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Jane. I'm a senior BA in the playwriting and dramaturgy emphasis, but I'm mainly focusing on directing and playwriting. And I actually, when I was going to college, I was debating between doing a playwriting BFA and then doing this program. And I'm so glad that I ended up going with the BA because I have discovered that I'm actually more interested in directing than playwriting. And I never would have discovered that about myself or had the opportunity to do so many different types of classes in different areas if I hadn't been a part of such a comprehensive program. My roommate came here to be an actor and is graduating as a costume designer. So it's like a really great opportunity to take lots of different types of classes to discover your interests, especially if you're somebody who feels like they don't want to commit yet to doing one specific core, like one specific area of study. It's also given me an opportunity to take a lot of different types of classes in other departments. I'm actually not a double major, but I am an English minor, and I've gotten to take so many awesome classes in that department related to playwriting and creative writing by having so much availability in my schedule because the coursework and the credit count is lower for the BA. So that's been really great. It's also given me more time to do extracurricular activities because I've had a little bit less of a rigorous course load, which has been awesome. So yeah, I agree with everything that Dr. Buckner said about why the BA is so great. And if you're interested in multiple areas, that's the main reason that I would personally recommend it.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm a junior BA theater major, also dramaturgy and literature. And then I'm a double major in something called peace studies. And everybody always asks me what that is, and it's a long story. If you're interested in peace and political science, go look that up at Wilkinson College. And similarly to Jane, actually, I was also between a playwriting BFA, an acting BFA, and BA programs. It was a very difficult decision. I was very confused, honestly. But I ended up picking the BA for similar reasons that Dr. Buckner talked about and Jane as well, is because it's a very holistic, interdisciplinary degree, and that's something that I personally really value. I have interests in performance, dramaturgy, interests in playwriting, and directing as well. And I wanted to be able to do all of it. And oftentimes BFA degrees don't necessarily cater to that kind of education. So that is why I chose a BA degree, because I wanted to be able to participate in many, many different opportunities. And I have been able to. I've performed in a couple of shows at Chapman. I've worked as a dramaturg. I have run a new play development organization on campus. I've been able to direct, I'm directing. That's something that I really value about the BA. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point with relating it back to Jane and Dr. Buckner. But I will say, in relation to the question that was asked earlier, BA versus BFA, if you're thinking about an acting BFA versus a BA, note that you might not be able to take all of the classes that the BFA students would be able to take acting classes if you end up in the BA theater major. So just make sure that you look at the curriculum of the BA and look at the curriculum of the BFA, and just kind of gauge what you're interested in, because there are some classes that BFAs are able to take that BAs can't take. So yeah, I'd really do a deep dive into that and see what's where. But we do have lots of opportunities within performance in the BA major as well. I personally have felt really engaged in all of my performance classes, and I've had plenty of opportunities to perform myself. So yeah, I think it just depends on the direction that you'd like to go. But I personally really like the BA major, clearly, because I picked it. Because yeah, because of how much stronger I feel I am as an artist, because I have all of these different areas, all contributing to my knowledge of theater as a whole. So yeah, that's my answer and a bit about me.
Thank you both. That's so helpful to hear. I kind of want to pin something that both Jane and Carly are saying, which is if you feel like you're an interdisciplinary artist or you're an artist who has multiple skill sets and you want to continue to hone or explore multiple skill sets while you're at a university and pursuing a theater degree, then a BA is probably the right track for you, right? Or if you're like, gosh, I like lots of different things and I'm not sure which one I am, or which hat I really want to buy at the store, right? Just to put in a weird metaphor there, then maybe the BA is right for you, right? Because you get to try on a lot of different hats. You get to wear a lot of different hats. And no one's asking you to pin yourself down and identify solely as one kind of artist, right? We are really interested in cultivating the entire artist and the artist scholar, right? Someone who can do multiple things and can be, a change maker in the industry in a number of different ways. So a lot of our students, a lot of our alums go on to be producers, they go on to be directors, they go on to be performers, they go on to be dramaturgs. They're doing a lot of things, but one of the things that a lot of our students, they go on to be educators, they go on to be technicians, technical directors, designers, right? They're doing work all over the world. But one of the things that I think is really incredible about our students in the BA degree that I'm really proud of is that they are leaders. They are leaders in the industry. They're people who go out and are very entrepreneurial. And what I mean by that is they create their own opportunities, and they know how to create their own opportunities because they did it at Chapman first. Right? They did it within the context of their curriculum. They did it within the context of the student organizations that they found. Carly founded a new play festival at Chapman. Jane is, part of some organizations on campus that produce student work at very high levels with incredible budgets and incredible designs, and are totally student produced. And it's part of her thesis project. And I know we had a thesis question, so I want her to be able to talk about that. But the students that leave the BA degree are very entrepreneurial. They are interdisciplinary, and they are independent thinkers. I always come back to those three sort of characteristics of our students, because they are, right? They come in knowing that they're going to chart their own course, of course, with guidance, but that you have the opportunity to chart your own course, right? And create your own path in the degree, and create your own creative and scholarly opportunities, right? And then again, they're entrepreneurial. They go out and do it on their own, and they're interdisciplinary. They're interested in what's happening in other areas on campus and how they can bring that information and that knowledge back to their artistry, and in turn, take their artistry and apply it to other conversations in other contexts. So I just want to pin that, right? That these are like some of the traits of our students and some of the benefits of the degree, that they give you that opportunity to really explore who you are, right? And who you can become, and all of the opportunities and avenues that are open to you. So I just kind of want to really signal boost that. Okay, we have some really good questions in the chat, so I'm going to go to the chat. So the first one is, are there collaboration opportunities with the film school for BA students? Short answer, yes. So the performers on campus, the actors on campus, all come from theater degrees, right? The BA, the BFA theater performance, or the BFA screen actors. There are no like separate performance degrees in Dodge in the film school. So when there's a casting call, they're looking at our degree programs, right? So everybody who's in the theater department and is interested in performance should absolutely, audition for the films. We have students who work constantly in theater and film on campus. Like literally, there's too many opportunities for me to even name for you on a semesterly basis. There are so many films being made independently, master's thesis projects going on over there, undergraduate thesis projects going on there. It's just constant. So our students are constantly working over there. They're working as performers, they're working as designers, they're working as in all elements of production. The stage managers are working over there. Everybody's working in Dodge also. So that's my answer to that. Jane or Carly, if you want to add anything, please feel free. But yes, there's constant cross-pollination between our department and Dodge for all degrees. Anything else that I'm missing, y'all, about that?
I think you basically covered it. Yeah,
Okay.
if you're interested in getting involved in the film program, there are plenty of opportunities too. That's just kind of something that you have to look out for. There's different Facebook pages that you can sign up for to get notifications about stuff, and just making friends and connections. If you're interested, there are 100% so many ways to get involved with Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. They summarized it perfectly.
Cool. Only affirming. All right. So that's Dodge. And we have a lot of students who will either double major over in Dodge or minor in Dodge also. So that's another option. If you really want to be interdisciplinary in terms of your curriculum with Dodge, you can absolutely go that route as well. So I encourage you to think about that if you're interested in film studies or production. Okay, the next question is from Morgan in the chat. What does a senior thesis look like? What would internships look like for actors? You mentioned BAs are finding success. Are they finding success in the tech area or acting area? What are some of the classes that BA and BFAs are allowed to take? Okay, that's lots of questions. So what does a senior thesis look like?
Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Don't be sorry. Never apologize for asking questions. You should always ask questions. That's how we learn. So that's the whole point of this thing. So what does a senior thesis look like? I'm glad you asked. We are in the thick of thesis season, aren't we, Jane?
Yes, we are. Dr. Bucker and I had our meeting this morning about my thesis draft. So,
We did. So what does thesis look like? So, okay, when you are in the BA degree, you get a really special experience, and it's 2 semesters long. And it covers your junior spring and your senior year. So junior spring, you take something called your professional development seminar. This is a semester-long course that does exactly what that title implies. It develops you professionally. It prepares you, okay? It prepares you for what's going to happen your senior year and moving into and transitioning into life after Chapman, after graduation, right? So in that semester, we do personal artistic manifestos. What are you wanting to do with your life as an artist, right? What do you think the value of art is? We talk about job searches. How do you find a job? How do you find an internship? How do you apply for it? How do you make your resume? How do you do your cover letter? We build personal websites. How do you develop a personal website and a portfolio so you can showcase your work, right, to a potential employer when you apply for a job or an internship or you're applying for graduate school? Well, speaking of graduate school, we talk about should you go to graduate school or should you not go to graduate school? When should you go to graduate school if you want to go to graduate school? What might you want to go for? We have the graduate school conversation. We talk about 5-year plans. How do you imagine getting to your career goals, right, from graduation to 5 years out? What does that look like? We do regional market analysis, where I ask you to look at different regions in the industry and think about what would it look like to live there. We do personal finance. We have a personal finance conversation where I ask you to make a budget. How are you going to live as an artist? Okay, I hope there's parents listening in the background and going, "Yay!" These are like life things, right? Where we have these conversations about what is your life going to look like, and how do you realize a sustainable life for yourself as an artist, right? As an early career, and specifically as an early career artist, again, transitioning from life at Chapman to life in the professional world. Okay. So that's that semester. And then at the end of that semester, we start talking about your senior thesis project, which is your capstone projects. And at the end of that semester, I ask you to identify the topic for your senior thesis project. Senior thesis happens your senior's fall semester. So that's where Jane is right now. Okay. And that project is, I give you a framework for it, right? Because no one's written a thesis project before. And so I give you a framework for what a traditional thesis looks like in any field, in any industry, undergraduate or graduate level, right? And I have an MFA and a PhD, so I've done the thesis, I've done the dissertation. I did an undergraduate thesis also. So, I have the personal experience with it, and I've also taught it. And this is the framework for a thesis project in any field, right? In the humanities. So I give you the framework for it, but the content of your senior thesis project is totally up to you. Again, this is a very, very important component of the degree because this is an opportunity for you to design a project that reflects your training in the degree and who you are as an artist coming out of it. Okay, so everybody in the capstone class, in the thesis class, is doing a different topic for their thesis, right? Everyone's going to write a formal thesis paper component of their thesis where they write about their project, right? And about their topic, but then everybody's topic is totally different. Some people have very, very practical components to their topics. Some people have more research-oriented components to their topics. Some people have a mix. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jane now and let her tell you what her thesis is because it's pretty cool and it's one of these really great creative and scholarly projects. So I'm going to let her give you a real life example of a thesis project that's going down right now.
Yes. So like the thesis paper, like Dr. Buckner was saying, is basically just like 20, 25 pages where you just write about a topic of your choice. It's just an opportunity to like show what you've learned. It's a lot of research. And then you have the option to do a practical component with your project, which is like a physical or like production style aspect that accompanies it that you can write about. So that's the kind of thesis that I wanted to do. So my thesis topic is sustaining a career in theater and how to like keep your career going typically or like generally talking from a personal perspective. And so I'm arguing that three ways that people can sustain their love for their craft over time are working on passion projects, working with strong collaborators, and working within artistic homes. So I did a bunch of research on that, and then I was like, okay, great. Now I'm going to apply all of these things to my own production to see them in practice. So I'm directing a workshop style version of Tick Tick Boom by Jonathan Larson, if any of you know that musical. And I have tech right after this. So I wanted to do something that gave me the opportunity to like do what I love, which is directing and work with people I love. And it's kind of the people that I'm working with are people that I met through my artistic home at Chapman, which is Chapman Student Organized Productions, which they talked about a little bit in the main room, but it's just a student-run theater group on campus. We do budgeted musicals. It's very cool and fun. So that's what my thesis is. It's actually really fun to like get really invested in a topic and get to write about it. And then if you want to do a project, to get to do something fun to put on your resume. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, so Jane has done an incredible amount of research into, how do you build and sustain a creative career over time? And then she has this amazing creative component where, she's actually directing this piece with some of her collaborators. So that's just one example. But we have students. We have a costume design student who is designing an entire show. We have a student who is exploring the issues of representation and gender and race in the entertainment industry and is currently producing a panel conversation about that with women in the entertainment industry. I'm just thinking about projects that are happening this semester. I have a student has written an original play and it is being produced next week about her experience. And it's kind of a performance piece, like performance art piece. Actually, it's very interdisciplinary. There's a lot of media involved in it. That's an international student. She's doing an English language performance and a Chinese language performance of the piece. I have someone who's looking at the dramaturgy of single set plays that happen within a single set, and like what the nuances and challenges and opportunities of that are in production, and then is also writing a play to explore that in her own that sort of genre in her own playwriting practice. So there's a lot of things going on, right, in thesis, and the opportunities are really open there for how you want to, again, put that capstone on your experience in the BA degree. But hopefully that gives you an example of that. And then internships. Internships for actors might look like working in a casting agency, working for a talent manager. We have tons and tons of contacts in the industry in LA. One of the benefits, I think, of choosing Chapman and the BA degree here is our location, right? We have proximity to the industry in ways that other degrees simply don't, right? Just given the blessing of geography in Southern California. So a lot of our students work at major, industry organizations like Disney, like Universal, like Knott's Berry Farm. We have students who intern at major theater companies in the region, Center Theater Group, South Coast Repertory Theater. Students are up in LA, again, in casting agencies, working with talent managers, working as production assistants. So really seeing the back end of the industry and understanding what it means to cast, right? And what that means for performers, right? And for a performance and for a performance career. But we also have students who will do internships where they are, like assistant directing, or they are auditioning and working in summer stock. We have students who do that as well and are performing in that capacity. So lots of different opportunities and options for students. I'm talking specifically about what students who are interested in performance are doing, but we have students who do internships in literary offices if they're interested in dramaturgy or playwriting or directing. Again, we have students who do directing and apprenticeships or internships who are interested in that. If students are interested in design work, we have a mentorship program in the department where you are mentored into design opportunities in our production season. And then we have students who also, work alongside faculty in professional contexts as well. Again, that happens with design students. It happens with dramaturgy students. I'm a resident dramaturg at a local professional theater company here in Orange County. Carly has come and worked with me. I've extended an invitation to Jane to come work in the theater this spring. Carly worked with me last year. They're both going to come work this year there, and they're earning professional credit for that, which is really incredible and a wonderful opportunity to build their resume and build their network and professional experience. So our students do a lot. We have students who go on and do internships. For example, I'm thinking of a technical theater student a few years ago who did a summer internship with Jacob's Pillow Dance Festival as a technical theater intern, and then immediately signed on to do international tours with a dance company as a lighting designer. So, the network works, right? It's really impressive and exciting to see how that happens. And as you could see on the list that I added, that I shared in the PowerPoint, our students work all over the place. They're working in New York, they're working in Chicago, they're working in Dallas, they're working in San Francisco, they're working in LA, they're working in San Diego, they're working in Florida. We have had students at Florida Studio Theater in their year-long apprenticeship program after graduation. So people work all over the place in all different contexts. And I think, exciting thing about Chapman is that, if students identify, themselves to the faculty and say, this is what I want to do, this is the kind of mentorship I want, the faculty will help you find those opportunities. Something else that we have at Chapman that is not always the case at universities, and I think we're very fortunate to have, is that we have a dedicated College of Performing Arts career advisor. Who, if you haven't met him yet, his name is Connor Bogenreef, and he's terrific. And he works with students while they're at Chapman to find internships and professional development opportunities. And then, as you're graduating, he helps you as you transition into the professional world. And as alums, you can still reach back for assistance with, any career changes or opportunities that you're looking for. Okay, so I've talked about internships. Ladies, do you want to add anything? We have a couple minutes left. I do want to get to some of the other questions, but anything else about internships that y'all want to add? I see another question about technical theater. We have technical theater students who have done sound internships, who have worked with rock concerts, worked with Cirque du Soleil in the past, just really everywhere. Again, if you have an interest, we will help you find opportunities for it. And then there was a question about study abroad and TAL in particular. So I'll speak to that. So the Theatre Academy of London opportunity that Professor Washington mentioned is a semester-long study abroad experience that's built into the BFA theater performance degree, where their sophomore spring, they go as a class. The class goes to the Theatre Academy of London, and they spend the semester there. In the BA, you have more flexibility when it comes to choosing your study abroad experience. You can go anywhere you want literally in the world, unless it's dangerous, and then we will not send you there. But we really, Chapman has partnerships literally all over the world. So anywhere you would want to go, again, within reason, we will send you there. We will facilitate that opportunity for you. So we have students who go to Florence, they go to Italy, anywhere in Italy, they do go to London. We have lots of other partnerships with universities in London as well. We have students in Spain, we have students in Portugal, we have students in Asia, we have students. I've had students in New Zealand before, really everywhere. We also have, Chapman also has a wonderful connection to Semester at Sea. If you want to have an experience of being on a boat for a semester and visiting multiple destinations, that's also an opportunity. Okay. And then we also have interterm at Chapman. I know we're almost at time, but I just want to add this in there too, because this is something that's really a showcase or a highlight in the theater department. Is during interterm, which is a short term in January, it's just a month long. We do an interterm study abroad trip to London. I run that course. It has run in the department since the 80s, since 1986. So it's a very, very old program that has a lot of history and is very, very popular. And we are in London seeing productions, world-class theater in a world-class city. And we're there for about 2 weeks seeing productions, having a cultural experience there, and also having coursework and conversation at the same time. So we're going this January. Carly's on the trip. And yay! And we're going again in 2027. And I already have a list of folks interested in 27. It's a class that is very, very popular, fills up very, very quickly. So you will hear me if you come to Chapman. The moment you get here, I will be asking you if you want to go to London, because I make the list very early in advance. And it's a really exciting opportunity to travel with a faculty member and with your fellow cohort, and get an opportunity to really see some amazing theater and talk about how theater is being made today. We are at time, so I want to be sensitive to folks' time, but are there any final questions that anybody has, or any final things that Jane or Carly you'd like to share?
I have nothing else. I do have to run because I have tech, but I'm going to put my phone number in the chat. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to text me or set something up. I'm happy. We're here to talk to you guys if you have any more questions, because I remember when I was applying for colleges, my list of questions kept running and running for a million years. So I will put that in if anyone wants to reach out that way if anything comes up. But I have to leave.
Thank you,
So much,
Jane. Have a great
everyone.
rehearsal.
Thank you. Everyone have a good rest of your night.
Thank you.
I'll also put mine in if you're still
Thanks,
here and you would
Carly.
like it. You're so welcome to call or text me. If you call me, I might not pick up, but I'll call you back. So
Leave a message. And I'll put
yes.
my email. Again, if anybody wants it, or has follow-up questions that you'd like to direct to me.
You should come to Chapman. It's
Come to
great.
Chapman.
We'd love to have you.
Hopefully you can see this is a very supportive and enthusiastic community.
Yes.
And a place where you really, really, truly, I believe, grow into your best self. This is my 14th year at Chapman, and I feel very fortunate to teach at Chapman in, a really incredible location and a really incredible institution. And I really value the opportunities that I'm able to provide for students and facilitate for students in this context. And thank you again, Carly and Jane, for sharing those experiences that you've had in the program. Okay. If there are no further questions, I will say thank you. And again, please reach out if you have any additional questions or concerns through the application process. Okay. Thank you all. I'm going to hop back to the main room. And thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
You too, Morgan.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye. Okay, I think.
Thank you, Carly.